Afternoon, lads and lasses. So I've been putting a lot of effort into making this content, and it takes quite a while to make these videos and edit them, upload them, write course content. So the actual recruitment side of my work at the minute has been a bit neglected. Therefore, I don't have many live roles on at the moment. So I thought it'd be helpful to just document the entire process of me going from having fuck all going on to hopefully getting a candidate for a role, introducing them to a business. If it's a new business, discussing terms of business with them and getting that signed, sealed and delivered. So the following content may not be as good quality video wise, purely because I'm going to need to use my phone that I'm filming on currently. So I'll film it on my computer. I'll have everything on loudspeaker. Hopefully you can hear the full conversation between me, clients, candidates, and I'll also just film exactly what it is that I'm going to do and document the game plan. So just quickly, what I'm probably going to do is I'll run a search on Seek for a common job title, probably project manager or project engineer for me in my industry. They're two job titles that are quite commonly sought after, regardless of time of year or how busy the market is. Like if I find someone that's a good candidate that's a project engineer or project manager, there's a fair likelihood I'll be able to get them across to a business. So I'll run a search for that. I'll try and find a reputable company that is advertising for a role, and then what I'll do, I have detailed this in one of the modules about reverse marketing, but essentially what I'll do is I will take down a bit of information from that job ad as to what they're looking for, and I will likely fabricate a candidate. I will call the business or try to get hold of one of the key decision makers. I will then talk to them about who I am, what I do, and I will tell them that I have a candidate that I feel would be a good fit for the job role that they're advertising for. I don't have that candidate, but they don't have to know that. So I will call them, I will tell them I've got this candidate, I will detail roughly what the candidate's skill set is, which will coincidentally be exactly what they're looking for in the advert. And the aim of this is to get them to then say, okay, great, yeah, we'd be really keen to see this person, to which I will then say, no worries, well, we're just going to have to get the terms of business discussion out of the way, and then as soon as I've got signed terms of business back to me, I can go ahead and send you the CV of the candidate. Provided this all goes correctly and how I'm hoping it will go, they will then either want to negotiate, in which case we'll go down that path, or they'll just get them signed and returned, or they'll completely ignore me, which is a very, very valid possibility as well. But provided they don't ignore me, we'll get them taken care of, and then I will give it a little bit of time. I will go back to the client and I'll say, hey, really sorry, I went and spoke to the candidate that we had discussed in order to get their permission to send their CV across. Turns out that since I last spoke to them, they've actually accepted a role. Now, what was it about that candidate that you really valued in their skill set? Because there's every chance that I could have somebody else that I'm dealing with that has a similar skill set. Alternatively, happy to go to market and try and find somebody for you for this role. So what we've done there, again, provided it all goes correctly, there's plenty of ways in which that can go wrong, is we've gone from having nothing going on, we've worked out who's got a live role, we've called that person and made an introduction, we've hopefully got terms of business signed with the new client, and we've got a job on, all from having nothing. So then what we do is, if they allow us to work that job and they give us a job spec, we can run through the job spec template that I've included in the Taking a Job course, and we can get all the details possible that we need in order to go and source a candidate for them and hopefully find somebody and land an interview. So let's get cracking. So I'm just going to run a search on Seek for project engineers in Melbourne. You can run very wide searches, and you can go like a big geographical area. So I service all of Australia. I'm not specifically searching for a job for any particular candidate at the moment, so I could pick whatever job I want and work on it. But let's go Melbourne specific, project engineer, any classification. I'm just going to click on construction. As I said, you can make it as wide as possible, or you can narrow it down. It's up to you. Depends on what you're looking for. So right now that'll do for my search. So it's brought up 414 jobs, sorted by the most relevant. So you can go by most recent as well. If you go date, it'll show you the most recently updated one. And you're just flicking down through. So these are featured ads. These probably paid more for. I don't know how you work out featured. I would imagine they pay a fee to be at the top. So you want to go down, and you don't want to find a recruiter ad. So that's something that be careful of. Make sure you know the names of the recruitment company. So Woods & Co is a recruiter. Design and Build is also a recruiter. So is that. Careers in Demand, I would say that's probably a recruiter as well. Black Sheep Construction. I don't know these. Oh, I actually may have spoken to these guys in the past. Potentially, that's one. They're a very small business, from my understanding. So it's probably not worth using this tactic with a very small business. But it might be. Don't discount it. But I'm not going to do that. Senior estimator for UGL. So this could potentially be a good one to go and do that for, because estimators are in demand anyway. So even if these guys can't do with a senior estimator, then I can go and take them elsewhere. But that is quite a good one actually. So senior estimator for major transport projects, rail, road. Cool. So I understand the business. I understand the role. I know already what type of person they're going to be looking for, because I know and what they do. But if you're not familiar with them, like the business for whatever the role is you're searching for, just jump on here. So I've opened up ChatGPT and I've asked what attributes would a candidate need to have to be good for the following job, and then I've pasted in the job advert that I copied. I did try a couple of different questions, but I wasn't satisfied with the answers, so you might have to mess around with it. It's not a foolproof system. So it's just given me basically an overview of what the candidate would need to have. And again, you might want to get more specific than this. Maybe pull up the business's website, have a look at their project list, and just describe to them the type of projects they deliver, but tell them that that's your candidate's background. You have to play around with it, but you get the idea. So estimating is a good one in that a lot of the time they'll just get given packages, so they don't actually need to be on site in a certain area. So I can find anybody from any of the major cities in Australia, and they'll potentially look at them. So probably what I'll do right now is I want to have a bit of a script together. If I'm just going to call and do a reverse brief to this business, I still want to be able to list off attributes for the candidate. So probably what I'll do here is I'll copy and paste this whole advert into ChatGPT or into some kind of AI-based software, and I'll ask it to break down the key attributes that a candidate would need based upon this advert to be a successful applicant. And I'll ask it to give me in short form bullet point format. That way I can just call the person, whoever deals with this position, so I'll have to work that one out. And I'll call them and I'll break down exactly what I have got or what I'm pretending to have and see how I go. Right, after a little bit of messing around, I've managed to find the number of the right person to call for this particular job ad. So I'm going to call them, and I'm literally completely winging this. I've never spoken to this guy before in my life. So I might make out that I have, but I've never spoken to him before. I spoke to one person that worked prior to him, who he will probably not know. So let's give it a go. This is the first call of the day as well, so excuse me if I'm a little bit rusty.
Hi, the person you have called is not available.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to save his number. And then I'm going to send him a voice note. Hi, Josh here from Prodigy. Oh, he's just calling me back. Afternoon.
Yeah, how you going?
Hi mate, it's Josh here from Prodigy Recruitment. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate.
Good, good. Alan, I was just giving you a buzz. I don't know if you remember, I think we spoke a little while back. I used to deal with back when he was at UGL.
Yep.
I came across your senior estimator ad that's listed on Seek at the moment, and I just wanted to find out a bit more about it because I could potentially have a person who has the right experience for that. Are you the person that would make the decision on hiring that role?
What divisions it's in, mate?
It's in infrastructure.
Infrastructure.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think who it is. I'm in substations.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Yeah, this is major transport.
Yeah, no, that's why I don't know about it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, can't help you, unfortunately.
Fair enough. How are you going in substations, mate? Are you
Yeah, good.
fully staffed up at the moment?
We're looking for a transmission line guy to take over a small group of estimators.
Okay.
Finding it hard to fill the spot. So if you've got anybody on your books,
Transmission, as in like a senior estimator to oversee a team.
well, a lead estimator, yeah, oversee a team, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a bit of info about that role and what that might look like?
I could find it for you. Have you got my email address?
I don't. What's your best email address?
All right, it's me through an email and I'll dig around see what I can find for you.
Yeah, no worries at all. And the reason that I was putting a call in is because obviously I was dealing with previously. In order to get people over, I would need to get a terms of business signed, and I never actually got that sorted out. Are you the person that would make the call on that?
No,
No?
I wouldn't.
Who would be making the call on that?
On the actual the position.
No. So just getting just like an agreement between my business and yours, just so that I'm able to present CVs. It's just a bit of a formality, really.
I would have to find out, mate.
Okay.
I really don't know how that side of it works.
That's all right. It's usually with the HR team and stuff, or the hiring managers.
No, it'll be with the HR team, but I've just got to find out who's doing the zoo there for you.
Yeah, no worries. So I'll
I haven't been with UGL long enough really to know these guys, so yeah, we'll go from there.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'll shoot you across an email now, mate. And if you got any information about it, I could well have someone for you.
No worries.
Awesome. All right, appreciate it.
See ya.
So he was completely the wrong person. So I had to play that off. Obviously, wasn't to know that. So his LinkedIn just says estimating manager for that particular business. They are a tier 1 business, so they will have different business units. So it just is what it is. But ended up potentially getting a roll on out of it. Bit different to what I do usually, that type of space, but more jobs the better, really. I don't have to put any effort into filling it. So what I've just done is I've jumped off the call and I've written an email to the guy I was speaking to just then. So the subject line I've put as recruitment follow-up - transmission line lead estimator. So we know that he's struggling to fill that position. If I just put recruitment follow-up, he might have, many different recruiters reaching out to him. You've got the role title in the subject line. If it's something he wants, he's probably going to click on it, more likely than not. So in the email body, I've put, thanks for taking my call. As discussed, I did a bit of work with this other fella back in the day. I spoke to him a couple of times, but he doesn't know that, and that guy's gone now. So I've made it sound like I was really pally with him. So I did a bit of work with back in the day. I've also said, I may well have appropriate candidates for your position, which I definitely don't, but I can search for them. I don't really work in the transmission line space. I may well have appropriate candidates for your position, but I'd need to get a TOB agreement in place, and then I'll be able to get those CVs over to you. So I've positioned the conversation as if he's come to me, and as if he's asking me to do him a favour. So I'm just saying, look, I can do that for you, but I'm just going to need something from you before I go ahead and do that. So the onus is sort of put on him now, even though I don't even know this guy. He's in the wrong department. We had no candidate to start off with, but now we've got him needing someone that we're saying we've got. He might have to go and have a conversation and get the terms sorted out on his end. And then, provided this all goes right, we've now got terms of business signed with an international business who, like, those terms aren't limited to one department. So even though this department that I'm speaking to right now, not really that relevant to what I do, there are other departments that are really relevant to what I do. So that's a major win. If we manage to get that sorted out, that's a huge win. So I've just said, let me know the details of this role, and I'll do a bit of searching on my end. I'll also have a chat with a few people that come to mind. Again, no one comes to mind. I don't know any transmission guys. In the meantime, if you could please have a chat with the correct people on your side, and I'll follow up with you in a day or so. So we're creating urgency now. We're setting the expectation that I'm going to follow this up. So he's going to think, okay, fuck, he's going to ring me in a day. Hopefully I've got this turned around by then. Might be able to get the candidates across. Like I might be able to find him some candidates for this role. If he comes back with full terms signed, it's not a million miles away from what I do, but it's not what I do. So I do have an understanding of that side of things, and I also know how to run searches from keywords. So provided he gives me a detailed job spec and he signs the terms, there's every chance that I could find someone for his role. So I'm not completely wasting this guy's time. I'm just being creative with how I'm going about it. So I'm going to send this email across to him. I've attached the terms of business document to it. So now we're waiting on him to come back and sort that out for us. He's going to go and have a chat with the HR department. Sometimes the HR is a bit of a block, so we might find that they, push back on that, but we'll deal with that when it comes to it.